Alright, let's remove the second, cage seal from Azrael's prison.
You can practically taste the freedom.
No, we have still a third round of this shit.
Well, hence why I said practically and taste it. We're not there yet to full-on attaining.
I'm trying, Azrael, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry, Azrael, but the game devs made it to pad out time.
I mean, now to be fair, again, it's not even like the puzzles are bad or anything, but it's more of a case that, having to potentially do this in one sitting is not recommended, like I said. It's really best if you take your time. And to be fair, you can save pretty much anywhere you want, so as soon as you enter a room that you have not just finished yet, you can just save, pause, and pick it up at another time. I get the idea the Switch version, or, the Switch version might be the more ideal way for one to enjoy this.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, Switch versions of games are great in that you can pretty much pause in and out of a home menu, and as long as you keep it on sleep mode, you're more or less got your game saved in a certain space.
Again, games with autosaves everywhere like this one are also, more, good with that, is what I'm saying.
Question also, you can do multiple save slots, correct?
If I remember correctly, yes, actually, yes.
Oh, that's good, because this seems like the kind of game where if you want to relive certain story sections, you want to save at a certain spot.
Yes,
because, assuming you don't just want to do the whole thing all over again.
The game technically auto-saves at any second, but that encompasses the first automatic save. If you want to save manually, you can choose from a selection of others. I just did not showcase that.
But yeah, I'm guessing there's not really a story replay section, so
No, if you
it's one of those
games. A specific segment, you have to, reload a specific save file, which to be fair, again, this was kind of the norm for something like God of War. Not so much Devil May Cry, because that one, if I recall correctly, at least starting with the third chapter, did have a chapter select, if I remember correctly. But again, it wasn't as common for every single hack and slash, unfortunately.
I feel like you mentioned it before also that, that means also that in terms, sometimes backtracking for certain collectibles can be, this or that and whatnot. Yeah. Like, now, okay, I get it. This one's technically map-based, so maybe that's the reason they didn't opt for a chapter select, but possible. I don't know. I feel like any game
not so locked into losing potentially any collectibles. They will still be there, and you will have a means to access them. It's just the case where you will need to, walk the whole way through.
Yeah. My honest take is that even with open world games, if you've got a story that's only playable through so much, I feel like either provide a means to replay the story or have something like a chapter select, essentially, to not make people always have to hike through a game full sail or whatnot.
Alright, before leaving, let's this particular area, let's actually grab another collectible that I spotted, because there's another section with one of those red orichalcum that can only be destroyed by using one of the fruit bombs.
So, would you say this is your favorite puzzle system in the game?
The portal one? I guess it's fine. Like I said, I don't really have a problem with most of the puzzles in this game. You can tell that the makers were genuinely fans of stuff like Zelda and wanted to put their own spin into things, so that's actually pretty cool. If anything, it's more puzzle-oriented than something like the God of War Greek Saga, so there is that.
Oh yeah, honestly, credit where it's due. While this is obviously a first game with a lot of the trappings of a first game in a series, it's not bad as an introduction to the series. I could see myself playing this.
I think maybe Okami, for someone who's never played Zelda, Okami might be still, a better introduction to the genre, even if that one too also can drag quite a bit for those who do not expect that. So there is that.
if it weren't for the fact that there's lightning and not water, this bit's giving me a load of Sonic Heroes power plant flashbacks.
Oh god, the bit with the rising battery acid.
Yeah, the drummer.
I thought it was water.
I mean,
water that glows orange. That's
I mean, it's a Sonic universe. Water could look different.
I mean, the last time we saw an orange liquid, that turned out to be...
Please, don't tell me that you also think that the blue liquid color, obviously the blue colored liquid in chemical plant zone is supposed to be water, because I assure you, it's not.
Nah, I thought that was just some weird kind of fuel.
It's like that sequence from... it's like in Red Dead Redemption talking about Prometheus. What was that black blue? Go on.
But yeah, no, dudes, remember, in Sonic Adventure 2, all that orange liquid we see in the Ark is actually fuel, apparently, for the Biolizard's its life essence, which leads to his chamber and all that. But no, what I was going to say is that I guess at least the architect of this building certainly had a lot of fun crafting it.
Truly. You'll just also see how we deal with Straga later, and you'll realize that it might have been just the case of the architect creating this place having fun.
Yeah.
Oh goody, the return of the Stinky Man, the pee-pee poo-poo man.
I'm getting Gears of War flashbacks.
I mean, to be fair, okay, Gears of I don't know if the artists working for, concept art of Gears of War was also, at the very least inspired by 90s comic book, but I would believe that, considering the more bulky design. Well, to be fair, the Lancers, when it comes to, gun designs, are not as over the top as what you will see in a typical Liefeldian design, so who knows. Ow. Again, this is also where these enemies with the armor that we started seeing already in the cathedral, but now reinforced with a shield and sporting a hammer instead of an axe, actually start becoming much more common, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
But again, to be fair, we're close to the end of the game technically, so part of me gets it, but holy shit, some of these rooms can become tedious.
I feel like at this point, if I were developing this game, I would have at least allowed you the ability to power up Wars' super form so that he can definitely bash back people.
That really is one of the biggest missed opportunities that this game can have. Or at the very least, make it by default to be truly overpowering.
And speaking of architects, I can definitely tell this is probably the case where the devs felt the most proud of their set pieces, which, to be fair, final, or, at least leading up to finale sort of dungeon, so I get it. You save the best for last.
There you go.
Bombs. You want some? They're yours, my friends.
As long as you have enough rupees. I mean, to be fair, when it comes to, I think, did we talk about one of these part about, like, when it comes to, merchant dickery, Morshu is not that much, different than Volgrim when it comes to this. It's just that instead of souls, it just wants to, your hard-earned rupees. Like, it's not it doesn't matter that Leek is literally saving the ass of the ground that he's walking. No. You still need to make a buck,
I know, right? In a way, this says that even in the apocalypse, in of all things, the rapture, capitalism still reigns supreme because we gotta pay them. Sure, it's souls, but it's still a form of currency. Yeah, I mentioned that in part 2.
It really is quite a pain. I mean,
is it in this world at least? Is it at the very least a more fair version of it, or is it still?
I mean, to be fair, as far as we know, Mulgrim is the major merchant, and he fixes directly the prices because of no competition, as we would say in Hollow Knight. So I would say no.
It's like, on the one hand, yes, he's probably setting the prices. On the other hand, he doesn't seem to be trying to skimp us for any deals.
The only reason he doesn't take fully advantage of war is because he kinda sorta is under, you know, Samael's protection, so if something happens to him, Samael probably would, you know, hold Wolverine responsible, but both him and the Char Council.
Yeah. Okay, good, the door's unlocked.
The door's open, let's go. Alright, now it's time to actually find a way to get up to fight the golem boss. Because, you know, that's the song and dance we've been doing for the past 2 micro towers.
You know what they say, 3 is a magic number.
Well, not for the horsemen, because they're 4 instead.
And that's why we beat the golems, because together we are 4, even if it's just 1 right now.
Yeah, this is the way.
You know, it's gonna be funny if it turns out the other horsemen were just on their lazy asses this whole time, since their games are prequels.
Well, okay. Only Genesis technically is, so, you know, Strife game. Remember the 4th game done starring Strife, the twin stick shooter one. That one is direct prequel because you also control war in that. It's a 2-player co-op if you want. Instead, like I said, 2 is happening at the same time as this, while 3 is happening slightly before this. It's happening during the time after the apocalypse, but before war is woken up by the Char Council.
I'm sure there's a good reason for this setting of a timeline.
Yes. It gives an excuse to the different horsemen to do their own shit and to justify why they do their own shit. Like, again, to give an example for the next game, for the game after this, Darksiders 2, Depp is on his own quest specifically because he learned about his brother's plight and wants to find proof to the Char Council that, you know, to prove the innocence of his brother, because he just cares a lot. And things kind of snowball from there.
Yeah, like, since I presume War's going to be able to prove his innocence going off of where we are in this game, I'm guessing what really happens is that Death stumbles onto something even bigger while searching for the evidence.
We shall see whenever we get to Darksiders 2. Which is a good reminder since we're almost at the end. Around the time we're recording this, this particular game came out on the War Mastered Edition. It received a port for the PS5 and Xbox Series, you know, which is kind of like an upgrade for the existing PS4 version. But to coincide with that, the PC version, the one that I recorded, also did receive an update. Unfortunately, it happened way after I finished recording this, so oopsie. But it seems that the devs are on a good track to do that for most of the franchise, possibly in preparation of the 5th game that is still in production. At time recording, we don't know yet. Who knows? The Summer Game Fest is close to when we're recording this, so who knows if it will be announced there or not. Or at least, you know, a new trailer will be announced there or not. Who knows? But I'm also hopeful that it will do something for the Death Definitive Edition of Darksiders 2, because unfortunately, as I said, that one currently is held by Scotch tape when it comes to, you know, its programming. There are a lot of bugs, annoyingly so. So, you know, I wanna wait a bit and see if they actually fix that.
I am curious, are we missing anything severe with the new PC version of this game, or is there more? Oh, wait, oh my god. Do they actually make an animation of War holding up a smartphone?
I haven't tried it. I haven't really tried it because, as I mentioned a couple of times, I don't particularly care about photo mode in video games. From what I understand, it's more of a case where the screen is paused and you have 360 control movement of the camera to make you know, the better angle that you want for taking a photo. Which again, for the PC version is kind of redundant because screenshots already are a thing of their own. Giving you the freedom of the camera is a good thing if you want to do that kind of thing, but it's redundant when you can just press F12, you know.
I guess, to be fair, like you said, the idea is like, well, it gives you much more camera control than you normally would have.
Like I said, it's fine. It's more about the idea of having to take physically the screenshots in-game instead of actually using the Steam application for it. But then again, I don't know if it's something that can be also used on GOG and international game, the Epic Game Store. So for all I know, just to be safe.
From what I've seen, also photo modes give you a chance to do some angles you could not normally do without a mod as well when trying to take pictures of the character themselves.
But other than that, this update is just mostly about bug fixes. Again, you haven't really seen them because a buffer tool cut out any movement that may happen, but there have been some minor cases of some minor glitches, like some textures missing in one location and then loading after, or some minor drop performance drops.
So, but yeah, no, it would be funny if they either had War hold up a smartphone, or God, maybe the Watcher, being cheeky, decides to take a picture.
Yes.
For good old times.
Yes, clearly. They called Mark Hamill back like 15 plus years later to record new lines, even though right now, he's incredibly busy and he's doing only very specific voice acting, and he's clearly, has raised his pay grade quite a lot.
I'm actually curious, what is he working on these days? Like, voice acting wise, I don't recall him mentioning any big projects.
Okay, outside of Multiversus, because it's entirely possible that his recording of Alliance for the Joker had been happening years ago, before the game was even released.
And Multiversus is, dead
well,
now.
Even again, it's still about, recent thing that he did. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
How long did Multiverses last again? A year?
A year and
okay,
a half,
it depends. It depends on if you're talking about the first time before it died or the second time it died.
I think what this means complexively.
Fair enough. Like, I'd say about a year and a half. It gets a bit murky when we're counting the early play phase, since, it was early play for a while. Even though they retroactively put that as, oh no, that's actually been the game proper out from the get-go.
Oh, okay, alright. In terms of VD Gums, the last rose they did was, again, for Joker for Multiversus and Master Arax in Kingdom Hearts 3, so that would be 2019. But in general, he has been the character of Skips in regular shows, The Lost Tapes. Okay.
Oh, right, he was in that. Jesus.
That's for TV. As for movies, he was King Herod in an animated version of The King of Kings. Okay, I need to see that.
What? Okay, I guess he can work in that role, but still...
apparently, it's a South Korean animated movie. I think so. Let me see, just to be sure. Directed by Seung Woo Jan, animated, it's a United States South Korean production, which for its English cast it has Kenneth Branagh, Uma Thurman, Mark Hamill, Pierce Brosnan, Roman Griffin Davis, Forrest Whitaker, Ben Kingsley, and Oscar Isaac. Okay, we need to see this.
Yes. Oh wait, right, the Christian animated film. Oh God, I know I heard about this. I didn't know it was South Korean driven though.
Partially at the very least. I think it was a joint production.
Alright, Angel Studios, the same people who released the Animal Farm movie.
Other than that, he recently was in The Wild Robot in 2024, which is a good movie. I recommend that.
Oh yeah, he was... Yeah,
and he reprised the role of the Joker one last time for a cameo in the animated version of Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths.
And then he was... And then let's see, for other movies he was... Oh, yeah, he was the Flying Dutchman in that SpongeBob movie that came out last year.
Also, he was in the English dub of The Boy in the Heron for one of the minor characters.
So yeah, video game-wise, he's... Well, okay, so calling it a hiatus is probably too early, since, Multiversus was technically just 2 years ago and whatnot, but...
Oh, I
don't know, like...
I forgot that he was the narrator in Let It Die.
Yes,
I remember that. Weird.
I love it. He plays a guy called Evil Guy in Lego Dimensions.
Possibly tongue-in-cheek.
Yes.
I
wonder who's the hero of that game.
like I said, with Mark Hamill is this kind of thing that after, Star Wars, he did not want it to be typecast as the goody twink guy, protagonist guy. So instead he went to the other direction and decided and got typecasted multiple times as the bad guy instead.
So that's who David Tennant was modelling his career post Doctor Who after.
Okay,
I feel like David Tennant has a fair share of good guy roles to balance out the evil ones.
Outside of the Purple Man in Jessica Jones, whatever bad guys did David Tennant recently?
Well, he's been in quite a few drama series, whether he's just in one episode or a whole series. He's mainly played really reprehensible people. There was this show, I forgot the name, where he played a real-life serial killer.
Oh, so was it one of those Netflix, serial killer?
No, it was ITV.
Okay. All right, falling into place.
Which is at least half of them apparently is going to probably end up in the hands of Sky, therefore Comcast.
Universal, yeah.
So, speaking of Mark Hamill stuff, Mark Hamill has a knack of showing up in places you would not expect him. Case in point, Kingdom Hearts, although I will put good money that the reason they got him in Kingdom Hearts was to have him play opposite of Leonard Nimoy. So we had a Star Trek, Star Wars crossover.
Oh yeah, it's called Death, that show I mentioned earlier.
I will also say that, speaking of that, because who the fuck knows, if we ever get to Verbal Sleep at this point, but just to mention a bit in advance, I'm kind of a bit bothered by Leonard Nimoy's performance in Verbal Sleep. I know it's sad because, the guy was, not that far away from passing away, and it kind of shows. But I really was not liking how he performed that, especially compared to how Chiaki Otsuka instead performed. It really feels to me they should have got someone that sounded similar, but then again, PSP Square Enix games unfortunately did have a lot of trouble with, English dubbed voice direction and casting. But again, we can finally free Azrael now.
Thank you, I am free to do evil stuff, you fool.
Please, you get it wrong. You need to say, thank you for releasing me.
I'm free.
Thank you for, thank you, War, but I'm sorry, I had to go.
Straga and the tower are one.
But anyway, Azrael makes a good point. While the road for Straga is open, if Straga gets defeated, we're gonna suffer from the classic case of if bad guys die, bad layer collapses with them. So we need a way out, and he's gonna be the one.
Much to the Watchers' distress.
He just wanted to kill someone, come on.
You gotta love how War's the calm one, and it's his companion who's the murder hobo.
Remember, again, they really wanted to do the whole thing. What if Navi from The Legend of Zelda was, a psychopath?
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, the best voice actor for Xehanort English-wise has been Christopher Lloyd. And yes, I know he didn't get to show off much, but I feel like he's the one who just has the best balance of being an evil old man.
At this point, if the curse continues, I don't even know who could they choose to, replace him. Yeah, sorry, no. We're here.
Might as well be polite before he tries to kill us.
It's time to finally rematch the demon that killed, War at the beginning of the game, although he has upgraded himself quite a bit in his 100 years. I forgot to mention, I don't remember if I mentioned, but in case Straga is played by Troy Baker.
You face Straga.
Again, this was the time Troy Baker was voicing pretty much everything.
You know, I have to give respect to Steve Blum. Even after becoming a big shot, Steve Blum still just goes for whatever role he can, whereas Troy Baker, I feel, once he got big, he started to become a little more, I'm too big for this in some regards.
He has still some level of code.
Maybe that's why they didn't get him back for Tales of
Vesperia. Well, that was
Vesperia because they thought, he's in these big games now, so he's not going to bother. So
anyway,
so he's not going to look in our direction. So why bother?
Anyway, the cutscene showcased precisely how you're supposed to beat Straga. Again, you need to use the portal. Again, use the dungeon weapon to defeat the boss. When he raises his hammer, you teleport on his back, jam the sword, which stuns him, and you're good to go. Because if you notice, there are no cars anymore that you can use against him potentially.
Alas, the power of Chevrolet is not with me now.
Instead, I need to use aperture science technology. Oh well. Troy Baker still kind of has a code of honor, so to speak. He has some roles that he genuinely still likes and was happy to reprise, like Snow for Final Fantasy 13 in case he appeared in crossovers like World of Final Fantasy and DCDIMT. And it's worth noting that he did mention that it would have been fine reprising his role as Yuri for Tales of Vesperia, but Bandai Namco again did not even bother to contact him, so there is technically that.
That is a shame.
Again, I can imagine some stuff he doesn't care about, and for good reasons, like that weird version of Axe Butler in Golden Axe Beast Rider. I don't even know if you remember that.
Oh, right, that was him. I forgot that was him.
But even
granted, there's a lot of things I forget about that game.
But even in recent times, again, he has been a cool sport, and loving to choose roles just for the sake of, because he liked the project, like one of the supporting characters in the Aaron Lang movie, because he was actually very intrigued by the passion that Markiplier displayed in making that movie, for example.
Did he actually show up physically for that, or was it just his voice?
No, voiceover for one of the control missions. One of the things that the Aaron Lang movie does that the game doesn't is to add a couple of scenes where the convict talks via mission control to the people back on orbit. It's not that much, so it's not really moving the narrative of claustrophobia, but it is done so that you don't spend the entire movie just with Markiplier.
Oh, that's nice.
Again, I bothered to check recently because it has been finally made public by the time we're recording this, and I do think the Aaron Lang movie is a good time, and it was even successful. But funny enough, Markiplier did this not really for the money. He really was just a passion project for himself.
Yeah, some people are saying between stuff like that, the Obsession movie, and the Backrooms movie, that the advent of the content creator director might indeed be here.
I mean, I wouldn't really, put my money entirely onto that, but I would say that at the very least, for now we're far away from a movie, from stuff like the Fred movie or Laser Team.
Oh yeah, no, I think
don't worry, Jova, I'm pretty sure Mr. Beast will put the equilibrium back into suckiness soon enough.
Okay, he's done a not Squid Game show. I'm actually legit surprised he has not tried to make his own movie with all the money he must have.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Alright, we're almost done.
Oh, right in the eyes.
Again, we did not manage to destroy the other, but check this out. It shoots a portal inside the mouth of Straga and teleports inside, so it can literally cut his brain from the inside.
Talk about your sore throat.
Actually more of a migraine.
It blew his mind.
Cool. Now how do we get out of here?
Said, Straga and the tower are one. Now let's see how useful I can be.
I love that we're just quite literally winging it, no pun intended, because of Azrael's presence. If it wasn't there, I wonder what, War's plan was supposed to be.
Like, we only... and to be fair, we only knew this was going to happen because Azrael warned us, so... If War and the Watcher had just gone on and defeated Straga's plan, they'd have been screwed.
Alright, so in the next part we will learn finally the ultimate truth about the reasons behind the apocalypse, or even if we have learned only a few snippets of it, and what role War has to play in its final part, possibly confronting the Destroyer and the end of the game. So see you for that.
Fun times ahead.
See ya.